Hi, Shelly. Let's take a look at this newest set of essays. Pollution, why, and how can it be solved? Let's see what you wrote. Pollution has been becoming an increasingly severe issue across the world, and it is significantly obvious in large metropolitans with big populations. This essay will discuss reasons as well as comes with some reasonable solutions. All right. Fine, but let's make it even better, okay? So, pollution has been becoming an increasingly severe issue across the world, and it is especially obvious in large metropolises, okay? And then you don't need to say with big populations. I mean, I think it's kind of obvious that a large metropolis already has a big population, so it just feels redundant. Another reason why I want you to avoid this is because I'm not a big fan of the word big. There are certain words that when you see them in an IELTS essay, they just really kind of stick out because they're so elementary. Big, small, nice, good, bad. There are so many other better words that are much more precise that you definitely want to use. So you want to avoid these words. They're just, like I said, they're so common and they're the first adjectives that students learn. So while we use them all the time, that's true. Your task 2 is an opportunity to show more precision, okay? So that's what I would like to see here. So in this case, like I said, because it just feels rather redundant, I would leave it out and just stop here. So this essay will discuss reasons as well as come up with some reasonable solutions, okay? So let's see what you wrote. Waste should be considered a main threat to degrade our environment. All right, there's something awkward about this. Waste should be considered a main threat which degrades our environment. I think that fits better. Firstly, lowercase d here, due to the development of industry, get rid of since the Industrial Revolution. If you wanted to say that, you would have to phrase this differently. So, firstly, since the Industrial Revolution, we have seen industry develop, and many factories have been producing loads of poisonous industrial waste, contaminating our soil, water, and air. Okay. Secondly, being bound to commercial products obsolescence, okay, people are prone to pursue newest products, simultaneously throwing away considerable outdated commodities such as cell phone appliances or of other goods, which is a major factor of household waste. Okay, your grammar is an issue here, Shelly, so let's fix it. So I like that you tried to use this word, but let's fix it. Secondly, because of built-in obsolescence, people tend to pursue the newest products, simultaneously throwing away outdated devices such as cell phones, appliances, or other goods, which is a major factor of household waste. So you can see it's a little bit of grammar, a little bit of vocabulary, but the sentence needed work. Apple, you don't need to say Apple Company. You could have said the company Apple, but not Apple Company. That's awkward. Annually releases new cell phones to attract massive public attention. Okay, what's your point? What does this mean? Okay, so what you could have said is you could have just taken it a step further and said, let's see, releases new cell phones to attract massive rendering the previous models obsolete. This creates added waste. Okay, so you have to take it a step further. No matter how obvious you think it seems, you still have to extend it because you might be thinking something totally different than what I think you're thinking. So you have to spell it out for us. Okay. In addition, vehicles with an S here with fossil fuels have been quite popular all over the world. Therefore, with the growing population, more and more vehicles are running on, not one, on the road every day, emitting volumes of gas emissions, S, which further deteriorate air pollution. No, you don't deteriorate air pollution, you deteriorate air quality, okay? You increase air pollution. All right, now let's see here. You told us that factories produce poisonous gas. That was your first thing. And then you talked about this idea of built-in obsolescence. So you could have said something more about this. This was okay. We already talked about this. But then I don't really understand this idea here. Like, I don't understand where this fits in. Is this a third idea? Or did you mean it to explain this? You really didn't need any more than 2 suggestions here as to the cause of pollution. 2 is really enough, okay? Because what's important is that you develop the ideas you have, not that you give us a list of several ideas, but none of them are developed. That's what we don't want to see. So definitely make sure you select no more than 2 ideas, but that they are really well developed, okay? Let's take a look at your next paragraph here. Governments are supposed to be responsible to relieve pollution by available. I don't understand this. Legitimate strategies. Do you think you mean legal strategies? You mean, I don't really know what you mean. Approved strategies? I really don't know. What is the most important thing is to prevent some factories with outdated waste disposal technologies from discharging harmful industry emissions as by legislating fining policies. At the same time, why would that be helpful? Explain it to me. At the same time, municipalities can publish some public service advertising. We usually call these public service announcements or campaigns, motivating the awareness of the worst repercussions from household waste, which is supposed to encourage people to cut down extravagant consuming patterns. Additionally, governments are obliged to build convenient and comfortable public transportation systems, incentivizing every person to prefer to take public vehicles such as subway, buses, and trains, and here you need an and, rather than drive themselves. Okay, this was all right, but again, I really don't feel like, let me think about this. You didn't need 3 solutions. Again, 2 would have been fine. But what I'm really missing from you is an extension of your ideas. I want you to go a step further with all of this. Okay? So here, for example, you legislate a fining policy. How would that help? Explain it to me, no matter how obvious you think it is. So you could say that this fine would be helpful because it would dissuade companies from creating waste, and it would also provide the governments with some income to help them combat environmental problems. Okay, so you just go a step further, no matter how obvious it seems. All right, so let's see. In conclusion, both governments and individuals should cooperate together to reduce pollution from our daily life and business operation. Should be an S here in business operations. Most importantly, manufacturers, you're missing an R, have a moral obligation to improve waste disposal technologies to reduce poisonous industry emission. All right, again, S here. All right, so it's fine in a lot of ways, but I still think it could have been better with some small fixes like I suggested. I think you're on your way to getting a very good score on your task too. So let's take a look at what you did here with the letter for the summer job. Let's see something. All right. Dear Jackson, okay. Hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to get some information from you for looking for a summer job. I don't understand that. Um, you're writing a letter to an employer. Okay. So I don't think you know this person. So I don't know why you refer to this person as Jackson. Maybe it could have been Mr. Jackson. So, dear Mr. Jackson, I hope this letter finds you well. You don't know the person, obviously. So, um, you don't want to be too informal. And this, I hope this letter finds you well, is like semi formal. So, I would prefer that you avoided it. Usually, in a formal letter, we get rid of this and we start straight with this. So, dear Mr. Jackson, I am writing for some information as I am looking for a summer job. I am a student at Ryerson University in Toronto, majoring in computer networks. This is the second year in my master program, and I'm going to graduate in October. Lots of really small sentences, not really a lot going on with cohesion. So I want you to work on joining some of these sentences together, making them more cohesive. So you're not repeating words like so frequently, and it feels more kind of joined together. Let's keep going. I would like to find not a temporal, a temporary. So I would like to find a temporary job during my summer vacation. If I do very well in the position during summer, I would be happy to change it into a full-time job. I'm quite interested in developing regarding networks. Um, I'm really happy that you tried to use a conditional sentence here, but please make every effort to make these accurate. This is higher level grammar, and so when you do get it right, and an examiner is usually impressed. It's like, okay, yeah, this person knows what he or she is doing. That's a good job. Okay, so try to aim for higher accuracy there. Before I came to Canada, I already had several years software developing experience concerning communication products. Through my 2 years study in Ryerson, I have got familiar with network technology, and I have also achieved some certificates concerning network technology. With a perfect mix of developing experience and skillful network knowledge, I will be eligible. That's really awkward. How about I am a suitable candidate for a good position? That would be okay. Or how about something that I think is even more natural sounding? I believe I would be able to bring value to your company. Okay? Or I believe that I would be a good fit for your company. All of those suggestions I think fit better. They're more natural, more appropriate to this kind of task. Okay? All right, so that's the feedback for this set of essays. Some good work, some things that need a little work still, okay? So go ahead and work on those things, and let's meet back here with your next set. Good luck.